Good to go. All right, Dunsky. Okay, so you guys are currently floating above Pagaton, which is a planet just outside of Imperial space, right on the border. You did the whole hop, skip, and a jump to Pagaton at the end of the last session. You had the jump drive necessary to get you all the way to Pagaton with, I think, a single refueling point, and you kind of just did that. You went back to one of the planets you'd been to before. Was it the desert world? Might have been. So you are now in. By the way, I don't mean to be rude, but that typing is very loud.
I was going to say, who's going to break first?
Apologies. So you're hovering over Pagaton, and you are here because Mercedes Kamalaka, what's her exact name? I think that's right. I've got her in that list, don't I? Yeah, I do. So who was the original owner of the scout vessel that you found on the planet with the dead people and the weird invisible alien. And just to remind me, was it Razco who had broken through their inability to see the invisible aliens?
Yes. I had been stabbed in the big fight, the big fight, whatever, and then I'd been injured by the monster, but actually my brain made everyone think that they stabbed me. And then I rolled really well and got through. So I have some resistance to it, but I'm still not immune, not completely immune.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you had. I thought you'd actually rolled the natural 12, which was what you needed
I had,
to do.
But I can't remember exactly what it was.
So the natural 12
I don't forget it.
That's right. You don't forget it. So you are actually now able to see it.
But I can't just automatically see them. It's more that
you can.
When I'm forced to interact with them, I don't forget.
You can. And the whole point is you don't forget them. You don't forget them. So
you basically had an aneurysm in that part of the brain that was conditioning you as dead.
Exactly.
Right.
It's basically
that genetic engineering has been shot. And you have discovered that she is in a small community called Respis, which is give or take 50 kilometers inland from the one sort of port, like low port, so port on the planet. And it's a weird little, that's right. It's all these different states. There's all this conflict between all these small nations, and they're desperate to buy foreign tech. And your records were stored on an ancient, out-of-date TL9 computer. So, generically, it's still got floppy drives. No, not quite, but for all intents and purposes, yes. All right.
Which way does USB drive going?
That's right. I don't understand. Or to quote Scotty, computer. I see. Quaint. So that level of interaction. For those of us who remember the search for Spock.
Star Trek 4.
Yeah. Star Trek 4. Thank you. All right. So you need to find Mercedes. You need to talk to Mercedes because she's got the secret of where Twilight's Peak is, which is the ancient space that you've all been, kind of chasing down.
Right. So have we successfully, or do we at least think we successfully eluded the black group?
The Obsidian,
Obsidian group.
What's their name? Omicron Division. Thank you.
Yes.
The Omicron Division evaded, got here ahead of them.
More like convince them that we are utter idiots and not worth
following. Oh, that's right. They are, as far as you can work out, they are convinced you're clueless members of the Imperial Spy Service, because you kind of did tell them that you were members of the Imperial Spy Service. And yes,
Yeah,
as far as
exactly.
they're
They just think they're smart.
concerned, you guys went off and did all the right things, and that's where we left it. That's what you think. What they've chosen to do with that information is outside of your control. And it
No,
was
but like we think, yeah, we get that.
yeah, and it was your interaction with them was just over 2 weeks ago. So by the time you get to Pagation, it's been you need to do a jump, so it's two weeks of travel time.
Yep.
And you are jumping reasonably fast, so you're running ahead of any news that's likely to be spreading across the border.
And I think we jumped. We made a jump at a three. We made a 3-unit jump.
Yep,
but that would have let people believe we made a 2-unit jump to
that's
other
right.
systems. Yeah,
You did try. That's right. You did the whole. We're programming a jump as if we're jumping here thing, and then you diverted. All right. So, the nation states don't really want people flying spaceships over their little borders. They've got opinions. How much you care about their opinions might be a relevant question, but obviously the preference is that you come down to the starport and then you catch transport on the planet to wherever you're going. There's all these little micronations dotted all over the planet, and some of them have bought reasonably solid tech for, defending their borders from foreigners, both interstellar and local. So, but up to you. But you guys are in charge of your own ship here. So that's the information you have. So Respis is about 50 kilometers inland from the starport. You know that Mercedes lives in Respis. You don't have a home address, but you know she lives in that town. And yeah, what do you want to do? Is my $1 million question.
Do we think with that we can God, what's the word? Descend vertically, or would that kill our ship?
No, your ship is atmospherically capable, so
I'm piloting it. It'll be fine.
It's true.
Well,
Razko's a good pilot.
At least we'll stop. I'm just wondering, guys, do we locate Respis, fly back up, and then just drop straight down from orbit, not crossing other city-states?
She doesn't know we're coming, right?
To your awareness, no.
I feel like something a little more subtle might be the way to go.
And it'll burn a hell
Not
of a
really my
lot of
skill
bridges.
set, sure. All right, cool. Well, let's land then and do the thing.
Yeah, so we'll just land at the what do you call it? The low port.
The starport.
And,
starport, the low port, because the high port is the one that's in orbit. Downport, sorry, good point. Downport. But also here it's just called the starport because they don't have a high port. You just basically park your ship on the ground.
So we will just do that, right? We'll park our ship on the ground and get on a train.
Yeah.
What's the? Yeah.
Yep, it's a train. Yep. It's TL7, which is about sort of 1950s-y technology. So
steam train.
Not quite. It's diesel. It's
no
a
AC.
Diesel train. Just no AC. That's right.
You're still pooping on the tracks.
But at least you've got comfy leather-bound seats and tea service. Yeah. So the train instructor. You pay for your tickets. There's an exchange rate which seems highly usurious, but at the end of the day is irrelevant to you. You're got enough money to pay for fuel for your ship. This is nothing. The Port Authority takes down your details though as foreign nationals on Pagation. So on Pagation, you need to be aware that should you cross the border to another nation state, this nation state can't be held accountable for what might occur to you, and advises you strongly to wear the imperial sun as a marker of your sort of international or interstellar status, because that's likely to have more value in sort of protecting you than sort of anything else. Does note you have a alien with you, and then another alien, so you've got 2 aliens with you, so they'll need special orders. Points at the dolphin and the Varga.
What kind of special orders?
Well, it's just that
Leash.
it's well understood that Varga in particular in this sector, which is outside of Imperial control, luckily is north of the Corsair, the Varga extents or whatever they're called. So they don't get a lot of Varga pirates here, but they get a few. And the Varga, let's face it, sure, it's typecasting, but basically every Varga is considered to be effectively a pirate.
That's a slur.
It is a slur.
I'm an honest citizen.
Is it really? I mean, what did we just go through?
Exactly. So they agree. So there's so you get on the train. It's kind of nice enough. It's 1950s style train. It rattles along quite merrily. And you find yourselves at Restless, which is a sort of mid-tier town. It's got a population of about 6,000 people, give or take. What is it? Yeah, there's, as you're at the train station, which seems to be the only significant building. There's one train track in. It goes on to the mining towns sort of further inland. So the train station itself is quite modern in comparison. There's a whole bunch of fields, crop fields and other things growing, and you can see the town proper is just ahead of you, sort of thing. So you get off at the train station. There's a whole center of population, a large number of buildings, all kind of residential, and then a bunch of warehouse type buildings behind it. What are they? Yeah, so there's granaries. Oh, there's a derelict station, right? So that's what that second building is. Okay, weird. Okay. Yeah, and a rail yard. So it's not the most exciting place.
Rightio, sounds good.
Yeah.
Do we have a more exact address than somewhere in this town?
Yes, they're resident of this town. So we go in.
Yes,
Probably not you
they're
and
a
me.
resident of this town.
Maybe we'll go second and let the lesser species talk.
All right. Well,
That's
who do you want to talk to? You're in a town.
We have no description or anything. We just have a name, right?
Pretty much.
And just to refresh my memory, that name came from Uncle Flynn. Yeah. So we have
Pretty much
uncertainty.
Yeah, but he was super powered up. He's not going to lead us on a bump steer just for the shit. He'd just kill us if he wanted to cause trouble. You know what I mean? Like
we can assume that. Let's assume that. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll assume that that's a possible case here. He's not doing this
and
to
not
screw
shits and
with us.
pickles.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do we just want to hit local bars and see
That's what I'm
if we
thinking.
can just see if anybody responds to the name?
Yep.
There'll be like pilot bars and shit. I could hang out and pretend to be.
There's not really a pilot bar, but there's a bar.
This is a one pub.
There's a couple of bars.
situation,
It's a
isn't
kind
it?
of, well,
Okay.
maybe 2 to 3 pubs, but yep, it's
Okay,
not,
right.
and it's kind of, we serve both kinds of music here, country and western.
Yes, country and western. We don't rock your taps around here.
So yeah, you front up at a bar. There's a bunch of farming types. Who's the most sort of technologically astute of you?
Ding.
That wouldn't be me.
No,
Wouldn't be
that's
me.
right. It would be Hank. Hank is most technologically astute. Hey,
Can
And
I
I'm
sorry to
computery.
interrupt.
Also, sorry.
Can I stay outside at a semi distance to see if anybody like exits stage left?
Sure. So you're
I'm picturing
hovering,
tying up the
literally.
horse at the corral out the front of the.
Dolphin just outside the
How
village.
high can I
I just
hover?
want to repeat 1950s, not 1850s. I just want to make that point. 1950s, not 1850s. But sure, you've tied the dolphin up out the front. That's the balloon. It just floats. That's where you tied it. So Clank, can you make a identifying and or understanding machines roll, please?
Hooray! I've got one of those.
You do.
I feel useful. Trained
I
even.
have
All right.
skills and everything.
Did that do it? No.
No. Is it alt click? I think it's alt click to roll the skill, isn't it?
No, it just displays it.
Hold on. When I click on it, oh, it's not set up as a rollable skill. That's weird.
No skill for you. 3 months.
I reckon, right? So do I just roll a d20 and we'll work it out?
Yeah, it's fine. It's trained. Hold on. Let me
Yeah.
just check what difficulty I've got things set up at. Oh yeah. Yep. That's.
And then I'm also gonna throw a point of effort into it because I feel like this is important. So with an edge of 2, that'll cost me 1 point.
Okay, sure. I was going to say it's probably not that important, but who am I to judge? All right.
It could be.
It could be.
But also my rolls suck at this game.
Yep.
Fair point.
All of our rolls suck
So
in this game.
7. So if I'm trained and I throw in a level of effort, that's equivalent of a 13. So
Yeah,
level 4 success.
Absolutely enough. Yeah, so I'm running it at difficulty 3 at the moment for this question. So as you're moving through this town, the thing that strikes you is TL7 with a couple of elements of TL9 and the odd random bit. There's a lot of sort of TL11, 12 technology in the town. In lots of like random places, like the lights, for instance, like the street lights have been upgraded at some point by someone, but not all the street lights, just some of them. And you can see a whole bunch of standard harvesting equipment, and then randomly you see an Imperial sort of, tech level robot harvester sort of sitting in the middle of the field that's obviously been shipped in, but it's one item. It's not like, it's not like a whole set of them. So there's just all these little spotty bits of technology all through the town that seem to exceed the standard technology offering. The thing that you note about that is they actually look well maintained.
So,
Okay.
On that note, does it look like, when it looks like, does it look like it's been built on planet, or does it look like somebody with pool has gotten in technology they shouldn't have?
Your bet is it's imports, because it looks pretty standard. Like most of it looks like stuff you would see on, Regina or somewhere else. So it looks sort of appropriate. The thing that is surprising to you is usually what happens is planets, like low-tech cultures, buy high-tech equipment and then can't maintain it. So it degrades reasonably quickly and other things. Someone's obviously investing here time and energy in maintaining this reasonably high-tech equipment. And it doesn't look like it's haphazard though. So it looks like it's a whole bunch of individual choices as opposed to, say, a whole strategy about we're going to automate all of our farming, or we're going to light the entire city using Imperial grade, sort of fusion powered light systems or something like that. So it doesn't look like government has decided to do this. It looks like an individual or group of individuals or a single company are doing it.
Okay. All right. Is there somebody working on one of those pieces of equipment, like one of those harvesters or something?
No, because you've kind of arrived late in the afternoon, so you're heading into the pub. The equipment's not operating particularly; it's just around.
Okay. All right. I'll point that out to the rest of the group. Like, that's a bit odd. That's well above somebody's pay grade to have sitting there. What do we make of it?
Probably not too surprising. The little village where we found the the killer emu thing, which I guess I don't remember, but the little village that we visited for some reason I can't recall, had a very similar. There was kind of one person hanging out who had been, clearly had more tech than everybody else there. So it kind of feels like a familiar situation, I think.
Okay.
So I think we're just heading into the pub and.
Yeah,
I'm pointing it out on the way. Yeah.
We've got to get a vibe for this. If this person's name is even remotely recognizable, if it's just a random, it's Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, I have no idea who you're talking about.
Well, if it's 1950s level tech, they may have a phone book or something.
Phone book. Your parents are dead.
Yeah.
Okay. So on that note, then, I'm just going to have a quick look at something. I can't see that you can roll anything on your sheet. Is that right, Dan? Is that your?
No. So I've got two. I've got the one that you made, and then I made a B2, which is the one that I manually did.
Yeah.
But it's all there. I can see it all.
But you can't roll any of it.
Yeah, you might not.
Yeah, it's weird. Did I do it wrong?
No, I don't know. I'm just going to look at. Can people tell me if they've got? Like, I can't see dice rolling on anyone's sheet.
I could have sworn I've done it before, though.
I've done
Maybe it's a chance it's come from.
Well, I've done it and it failed. That's how I know.
No, it's definitely been there before. Roll buttons on character sheets are currently disabled. How about we enable them?
Hooray! Maybe that will solve the mystery.
Maybe that will. I don't know if it will.
Look at me rolling. Yeah, I'm rolling. Oh, look, I'm rolling. Yeah, I'm rolling well when it's not important. It's great. I love it.
Use them all up.
Why would that be disabled? Why would that ever be disabled? What a weird thing.
Because there was an upgrade to
Yeah, definitely disable all the roles.
To the back end system the other day, which I accepted, and it must have disabled the role. Anyway, you can all see your roles now, so
now
that's fixed. That's better. That's much better.
And just to point out that, as per usual, I rolled a fucking 2 with my try run then. So of course
I rolled a 16 because now I'll roll a 2 for my real run.
Right. Maybe Dan, you just want to stay with the
the manual roller.
the manual roller at the bottom. All right. So anyway, there you go. There's that. All right. So you're at the pub. There's a bunch of farmers or farming types. Looking at you suspiciously when you walk in. Are you wearing your sort of, you were given effectively badges to wear? Are you wearing your "I'm from the Imperium, don't fuck with me" badge or not?
I am not wearing that.
And who is going into the pub? So I know Orcus is doing,
How high can I hover?
Sniper patrol on the outside.
I'm going into the pub for sure.
How high can you go? You've got a grab belt. You can, it would take you a long time, but you could get to orbit if you had the power.
Right. So I'm carrying my identification. It's about 6.5 feet long. It hums when it's fully charged.
I see.
I don't feel like there's any chance of us hiding our weaponry, so I don't know. So I think we might be going.
Well, and some people's weird glowing skin / weird drones that float around them. Dan, just a few other minor markers of distinguishment.
To be fair, my glowing skin thing is activated abilities. It's not on all the time.
True that.
But
Fair point. All right. So there's a quiet that enters the pub as you all enter it. Silence falls across the pub. What was previously a hubbub of communication and conversation silences as like a wave as people realise that foreigners have entered the pub and are disturbing their drinking. Yeah,
just as though there's, as though I'm completely oblivious to that. I just amble towards the bar to order a drink.
Right, you rock up the bar. There's a bartender there doing what bartenders have been doing for centuries on planets all through the Imperium, which is cleaning a glass. Yep. What can I do for you?
I just order a beer. Your standard beer, please, sir.
No worries, sir. A beer. That will be. And he gives you a number which is clearly the tourist number as opposed to the not tourist number. But happy to serve you, sir. Always happy to see Imperial credits. Love the Imperium.
Is the number so ridiculous I should do something about it, or I can just it's equivalent?
No, you feel it's it's a carefully calibrated graft, if you will, not an egregious attempt.
And I also not thinking, but I guess I amend my order. I give him a good stare to give him the sense that I kind of know what's going on here. And then I order, a whole round for whoever else is coming to the bar.
From your side, not a whole round for the whole bar.
No, not for the bar.
No, right, okay, just
Dan and Razco. Sorry, Clank and Razco.
Yeah.
Kush, are you in the pub or are you hanging outside with Floaty Boy? Actually, Floaty Boy's floating, so you wouldn't really be even hanging with them.
I'd agreed with Floaty Boy, but out of curiosity, I've drifted in anyway.
Unable to restrain your urge to know you've entered the building. I respect that. All right. So much travel then? Been coming from a long way away?
I just dropped by to deliver something to a friend of a friend. Wonder if you've heard of a Mercedes Karamaka around here.
Well, can't say I have. Never heard that name. But we find most foreigners. Oh, hey, Fred, what's her name again? Almost all foreigners want to talk to Drea.
It sounds like the place to start then.
Yeah.
Can you direct us to Drea?
Yeah, certainly. Can I ask why you? So, what would be this thing you want to, gift on to Drea? What was that? What's that about? What's his friend?
Just a letter. We owed a favour to an old friend of hers, and so we're just here to deliver something and get back out of your hair.
Right. Sure. Do you have any, persuasion-y, diplomacy, lie-y, maybe not tell the truthy skills?
Deceiving?
That one right there. That'd be it. Spot
like
me
the
on.
one.
That does sound like one. I will leave the difficulty at 3. It is not a complex task.
Assets 0. I just hit roll, yeah?
Yeah, unless you're going to put effort into it, but yeah. Yep.
Yeah, no, I'll just hit roll. That looks pretty good.
It does look pretty good. Yeah, so... Oh, right, yeah, no, look, it could be. Well, Drea's the only foreigner in town, but she's very good. We like her a lot, so just note we'll all be watching you.
No worries at all, and I assume he tells me where to find Drea.
Yeah, actually, Freddie is at enough. He's heading off. He can take you there.
No worries at all. And can I conspicuously not pay him for the beers he's poured?
You can. Well, You may choose not to pay him for the beers that he's already poured. Is this your intention?
No, the DM's warning me that's unwise. I'll pay for the beers as a price of information, and we'll head out of the bar with Fred.
The question. I just wanted to check in on that. All right, so you head out into the night. So orcs, they all come out together. They've got a local with them. It seems to have been a very short conversation.
I continue to. I float after them.
Right.
How far up in the air are you at this point?
I reckon 30 meters.
So you're like.
Depends on how. I'm just orbital defense.
Yeah. Tom, you were Razco rather. What were you?
I was thinking, is there we have a drink and whatever, but is there a point in time where I could, I need to refill my drink and then do like a lap through the bar, kind of, confused person trying to overhear any kind of conversations about us as strangers? You know what I mean? Like we've come in, everyone's like, and now people are muttering amongst themselves. If I try to overhear those conversations as I walk past, I don't know, I've got perception.
Sure. Yes.
Sense?
Yep. Go for it.
I'll just roll. I'll just do a perception roll. Casually, walk in the bar to get another drink. Yeah, there you go. Remember that 16 I rolled before?
Yeah. Once in a lifetime experience.
That's literally a fucking
confirmed there are people in the bar.
And thus everyone's rolls reset to their standard. It's going to be like Alien all over again. We're just going to hear endless. You're just going to hear endless Nick. The dice roller.
Yeah, Nick's just going to say 5s are successes now.
Yeah, no, that's right. Wow. All right. So wouldn't that be annoying if you made a dice pool game where like a 4 was a success and a 5 and a 6 were nothing? That would just be annoying, wouldn't it?
It would be a terrible game.
I know, but I want to do it now because now I've had that thought. It's entertaining to me. That's fair. There's just one step too far in that story. All right, so no, you don't hear anything, but GM intrusion, GM intrusion. Tom,
I did roll a 3, so
you did, which is not actually an automatic intrusion. So you get an XP for this one, as opposed to not getting an XP, which is my generosity of spirit delivered. Which one are you? Is this Razgo? I never know. No, that's Clank. So that must be. No, that's Antos. Oh, that's right. You weren't. Oh no, is that? Hold on. Razgo, there you are.
Yep.
You're the card for some reason. For some reason, you're a card. I don't get that. Whatever.
No, so I changed my avatar, but before I changed it, I tested it, which was a card, because that was just the art that was there. And I can't get rid of that, but my avatar is now me, so I don't know if you can.
I suspect if I do this and then grab your sheet and drag it back on, we will get. Nope. Oh, okay. I need to look at that. All right. I am going to offer you. Where's my little GM intrusion? Propose intrusion. Oh. There you go, Razco. Do you want to accept my intrusion? The intrusion, by the way.
What bullshit you come up with.
Okay, so you're accepting it. Nice. So you're floating around asking people. Well, you're floating around listening intently. Your listening has been noticed. Some other parties are aware that you are in the space, and this will or may come to bite you in the near future.
But at least I know, and I can warn my friends.
You can. So you have to hit accept on that, and then you have to give someone an XP. You have to choose a friend.
Nothing popped up on my thing.
It's in chat. I can see it.
Oh, in chat. Sorry, I'm on the create actor tab, so I can't see it. Yep, I accept. Give the additional to. Give it to Kush.
Thank you.
There you go, Kush. XP'd it. All right, so you guys are moving down the street. You're being shown towards Drea's house. The person, Fred, who's with you, sort of expanding on how amazing Drea is. Like she, she's imported all this technology and she maintains it. She's like this kind of super engineer person. Town loves her, but she's prickly. No one's really close to her. Like he's a font of knowledge. Seems completely unrestrained in his information sharing. You arrive at a building, and somewhat similarly to what was the name of the first planet that you went to? Ancient Hunters, a blatant lie in fleeting memorandum. Ancient Hunters at Egypt. That was it. No, it was in Fleet. Kalia. When you were at Kalia, there was.
What did you do to your back?
Oh,
yeah. What's happening? Someone getting injured?
Nick's having a chat. So there's this building, and it just stands out, right? But it stands out to the trained eye. You guys have already noticed the high-level tech. The building's obviously been built to sort of blend in, but what you can actually see is that it's surrounded by security cameras that are sort of TL12 and above. It's got a whole bunch of subtle protection measures built around it, but there is a front door. It's just a front door.
Can I identify some of those security measures? Like, are they explosive? Are they alarm-based?
You may. Well, you can make an attempt to do so.
I am not trusting the character roller, so I'm just going to roll a d20. And I'm also going to put another point of effort.
Not me this time.
No, noted. So duly noted.
So point of effort, trained, and huzzah!
Huzzah! Not only huzzah, but a 19, which is a major or minor benefit.
That's great. Fucking
very readily beats thing. And this is with are you trained in this?
I'm trained in identifying machines, so depending on what kind of alarm system we're talking about.
All right, okay.
So if it's sorry.
No, you're right. Go.
I was just going to say, like, if it's like a tripwire, I guess I won't be trained for it. But if it's like a computer scanner, then
it's definitely the latter. So some of this kit is TL15, so it's Imperial sort of max. And basically, your first realization is you guys have been tracked probably for the last half an hour. Like this equipment could have picked you up and coming from the train. Particularly as what you do note is there's a whole bunch of devices that are targeted at detecting high TL energy sources in particular. So high TL batteries, high TL.
What about high TL energy absorbing technology?
I'm going to side-eye our floating dolphin as I notice this.
Yeah, well, there's the dolphin, exactly right, who literally glows in the dark. Oh, no, hold on, that's someone else. No, anyway. Not judging, just saying. So, yes, you're aware that you have probably been detected. However, I don't think she has. Does she have? I'm just going to quickly check whether she has big guns as well. I was going to say, actually.
Iron Land.
Okay. No, there's no sign of actual, turrets or pintle-mounted fire weaponry. There's just various, sensor systems built around the outside of the building.
There's no point in even trying to evade in that case, is there?
At this point, you're pretty sure you've been detected. You could go away and have and come back with a better...
Another turn.
A more prepared, sort of accounting for the technology. But no, at this point, you think...
We're a different group with a different Varga and a different dolphin.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe a dolphin who's not armed to the gills or armed to the blowpipe, whatever,
To gills.
blowhole.
That's a slur.
That's
I
what
feel
you
like
said.
I feel like you
No.
can't go around telling people that they're under the gills. I feel like that's a
Not if
strict
they're
no-no.
fish. Not if they're mammals.
No.
That's
No.
whack.
That's just not okay. All right. So anyway, so what do you want to do, guys? You're outside the building. You know you've been detected. You're pretty
Can't
sure you
casually
need
pretend. Yeah.
at least spec at your tech level. What do you want to do?
We just
Yeah,
ask
we
for
could
a
just
card.
go in, right?
We knock on the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Knock on the door.
Okay. Go and knock on the door.
Casual hello.
All right.
Because either way, they know
Uh,
we're on planet. They know that we walk towards their place.
Yeah.
Right.
So a
15
la
spies
classic,
reported us from the bar,
a la classic Tatooine. I'm going to visit Jabba the Hutt at home.
Yeah.
A
Jabba
little
the
hovering sort of drone with a built-in sort of series of sensors and cameras and other things pops out of a hole next to the door and hovers around you for a second, and then a voice comes from it. Yes, what do you want?
We're looking for Drea, if she's in, please.
Sort of casual, yep.
Okay, so yes, I'm here. And who are you?
Sweet.
Look, lady, stop being rude. We found your ship sitting on insert planet blah here. Got attacked by a giant chicken. Kicked its ass. Then we found some weird shit, and we were hoping we could discuss it with you. I'm not very delicate, sorry.
Right.
You're not quite sure how to fucking respond to that. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's the way.
So you were what giant chicken? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
exactly.
and why are
Nobody
you here?
knows.
I don't need to know about giant chickens. I have no interest in them.
But your ship. You
What
don't
ship?
want it? Hold on. Air quotes. This is her ship. This is the one we believe belonged to her.
Yeah,
Lisa,
that's right. Yeah, she was. So your information is she was the original owner / pilot of the scout ship. Then somehow that scout ship got handed on to the other
okay.
group, who were then killed by the thing.
Yeah, sorry, I thought it was still her ship, not her
Well,
ship.
it might
sorry.
be. You don't know. It actually might be still her ship.
And he
what was the
said
name
she
of the
was the
ship?
author of the. It was the Garnet or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Garnet.
yeah. So she was the original owner of the Garnet, or at least the original leaser of the Garnet, because it's an Imperial scout ship. And then Bernadata Khalid was the captain who was killed by the blue glowy alien.
Yeah, so
thing.
we relate that information to her.
Yes.
I see. And you've come to me to do what?
To chat,
All right. So just
preferably off the street.
remembering this.
if you don't mind.
Okay.
So- We
Sorry.
hold on. Is the yokel still here?
Probably in a fair degree of amazement / amusement at this point. It's like, I mean, he's TL7 and we've now got a talking floating robot drone hovering around his head. So he's
Not
like
a drone?
bemused.
Oh, sorry, the other drone. I was gonna say that's rude. I'm not a drone. Okay, so fuck it. We'll just do it. We are looking for insert person's name.
Mercedes.
Calamaka.
Karamaka. Yeah, Kalamaka. Yeah.
Now we think that's you.
Wow. The dolphin negotiates from a position of authority. Okay. Okay. And there's just wait a second, and there's a whole series of clacking, locking sounds coming from the door, and a humming noise, and then the door opens. And what actually is on the other side looks like a reasonably standard apartment, like accommodation. It doesn't look like you're not stepping into an airlock or a trap, or it just looks like. And there's a woman there. She is, however, wearing what looks like a vac suit. Kush, you've got I know shit about weird shit skill.
Yeah.
Are you still into ancient technology, or is that something that you forewent?
Oh no, I've got archaeology, which sort of covered ancients.
Yep.
I guess.
All right.
I can spend I'll spend an intellect point for understanding.
Okay, what does that do?
So that should give me
gains 1 asset. Okay, so you're just going to look at her for a little while, and then you're going to make your roll. Okay, so spend the intellect point, do the observing ye, and then you can get the asset.
If I may, I've also got xenotechnology, if that would come up in this situation.
Yeah,
as a skill.
You may.
And I guess I spend 2 points for effort. I don't need
20.
to.
20.
That's pretty impressive.
Okay, obviously this is not your first rodeo, Clank. So you take one look at the suit she's wearing and realize that this is a standard Imperial vac suit, high end, like TL-15, that has been upgraded.
By xenotechnology, though?
Yes.
Oh. Can I see what the upgrades do?
With a 20, I guess I should say yes.
And do they look ancient?
They look. So she's wearing a suit. She's wearing a vac suit. She's wearing some sort of device on her wrist, which is wrapped around her arm with these sort of semi-organic looking connectors. So it doesn't look. It's biomechanical as opposed to just purely mechanical. So there's a biomechanical device on her arm. The suit itself is, and because you've been observing the gems, as in the power absorbing gems, we'll assume with a major bonus, Clank, you've obviously got your drones preset to sort of detect that kind of low-level energy drain that always happens when the gems are active. And this suit is doing the same thing.
It's sucking energy.
So it has the same sort of energy-absorbing field that the gems do.
Can't be good for our health.
That's bad.
Well, if it's aiming outwards, it's got no issues whatsoever.
It looks controlled, which is a big difference to the gem, right? So the gem doesn't look controlled. The gem just does it. So if you're holding the gem, you get protected by its field, but it's not intentional. It's the gem is generating that field. This suit looks like in some fashion, way, or form, it is controlling that absorption. And she's got this weird biomechanical device on her arm, which, Clank, you don't know what it does, but you are absolutely certain that's a weapon.
All right. Can I tap out a text message that everyone can read and not speak out loud, just warning people about that she's got a controlled energy field, dampening field, and some form of high-tech weaponry.
Now she's not actually pointing it at you. I'll just make that point.
But I
you
just
know
don't want
We don't
everyone.
know how the weapon works.
Yeah,
She
for,
might
for all
be-
we know, it's a suicide bomb. Like I don't know how it works, but I just want to point out
So-
to people the danger.
Yeah.
If I can I do that like by basically via group text.
I'll
Just
assume
pull
that
up
you
the old-
guys have got the ability to send each other reasonably discreet messages.
Yeah. I'll just
She's
pull
got a
up the group
helmet
WhatsApp.
open. She doesn't have it closed at this point, so it's open. So she's looking at you. It's one of the, it seems to be something that would sort of cascade over her head and enclose her head pretty quickly. She looks like she's in her late 40s, early 50s. She's got brown hair. Nothing particularly amazing about her appearance beyond the fact that she's probably wearing ancient technology.
Man, god damn it.
Well, she's more than she's wearing it. If she's using it properly.
Yeah, she's wielding it, right?
Yeah, that's the word. Yeah.
This is true. She seems to have wielded it. And an important point, it is this amalgam of, weird tech and imperial high-level tech. So, like, it's not like it's a full, it's not like ancient power armor or something like that. Like, she's got bits and bobs of things that she's then glued together on top of imperial tech.
Can I?
They look much more hacked than sort of found, if that makes probably the good way to put it.
I think I might open up with this very impressive security system you've got here. Seems a bit of overkill for this planet. Were you expecting trouble? I assure you, we don't bring any ourselves.
I am not expecting trouble. I just take a cautious approach to life.
I see. Well,
At least one of you is in actual power armor with a high energy weapon, I feel it is just reasonable for me to take some degree of precaution in that scenario.
Seems legit to me.
I
I think your suit's beautiful.
Look, I completely understand that attitude, and if our positions were reversed, I'm just surprised that you had it. I mean, I'm saying you already had it in place. Like, were you expecting another group?
It could happen at any point. I tell you what, I'm going to keep on wearing this because I don't know you guys from a bar of soap, as they say.
Oh, I was referring to her like home security, not what she's wearing. I was referring to like,
Well, thank
Too
you.
late now. She misunderstood.
Yeah,
it's fine. So you're desperately going, oh no, I wasn't talking about the power, the alien tech.
No,
I was
I
talking
didn't
about
even
your
notice you
security
were wearing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to be subtle about it at first.
Would you like some tea?
I would love some actually. Do you have any like fruity tea at all? That's my preference.
Sure, it's an agricultural planet. We've got everything. So she gets you the equivalent of like an apple or a mint tea. So what brings you to my door? One would assume you did not arrive by accident.
Another fair assumption. We came across your ship and have been trying to track down the owner of it, having found some items of interest.
Right. And what did you find? And what happened to the crew of the ship, much more importantly?
Does somebody else want to answer that one?
They died
I mean,
somehow.
we didn't do anything.
Clear on the circumstances, but I'm pretty sure they were all dead.
This is true. Kush
And violently.
and Antos and Clank all need to be reminded repeatedly of what happened. They were dead. They must have committed suicide. It's the only possible explanation. It's a frequent response from the three of them. So unless
They spread themselves over as thinly as possible over as wide an area as possible.
Unless Orcs and Razco actually intervene, that will basically be the answer given by anyone else.
I wasn't in that session, so I actually don't remember what happened.
Well, they were killed by the horrible blue alien.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes.
Individually and separately.
Actually, I just realized that
The
no one else
viscera
remembers
exited
that.
the body
Orcus
like
remembers,
silly
and
string.
I remember.
Yeah,
but no
that's
one
what I'm
else can-
saying. Anytime, if she asks that question of Kush, Antos,
Sorry.
Yeah, they
or
won't.
Clank,
They're
answer they
they're
give is
confabulating,
they
right? They have to remember the thing that didn't happen because that's how their brains work. I forgot that.
and
you
so
and I are
they
the only ones
explain
who
it away
actually
with
remember.
it was, unfortunately, they all committed mass suicide.
Do you want to? I look at Orcus and I tap him on his little dunk dunk dunk. I know you're not supposed to tap aquarium glass, but it's entertaining.
I don't have not glass. Well, yeah, it is glass.
Yeah, it's a helmet.
Anyway,
look, and we look at her, right, and we're like, actually, that's not what happened, right?
here's what happened is that a monster. Now, hold on. I'm just trying to remember. It actually it's an active decision-making function. So I can't the best I can tell you, because if I actually tell you, your genetics will force you to forget what I tell you.
It's got
A
a lot
monster
of tech, though.
ate them.
A monster
Right.
ate them.
Okay, cool. Now I've just told you that. Now maybe, as my friends here says, your tech will help you, but this is what happened, and I explain what happened, and then I go, so do you understand what happened?
So you're telling her the invisible blue alien did it?
Yeah, the one that if unless the tech somehow supersedes the programming.
But you're
she
just
won't
telling her it's an
understand.
invisible blue alien, right? Are you showing her a picture of said invisible blue alien? Because remember,
Well,
you
no,
have
hold on.
you have
In previous
images.
conversation,
We can't
I
though,
know
the
that,
pictures of his.
but
We did
every
have footage.
every time.
Okay, I see what you're trying to do. She's actually able. So she's actually able to handle the invisible blue alien line.
Okay, because other people actively go what?
Yes, other people who get shown the image of the invisible blue alien.
In previous conversations, I didn't show anybody, and we had this scenario. Remember, I did the recording, and the recording wouldn't do it, and things like that. So maybe I misunderstood. Anyway, I'll show her a picture.
And the moment you show her a picture, she's just like everyone else.
Okay. Anyway, so a monster got him.
Yeah.
Scary.
Sorry,
scary
there's
monster.
a thing. Yep.
And it looks like that it's a scary monster that the ancients have genetically pre-programmed people to forget about.
Okay, she says. That's
There you go.
interesting.
Yeah, isn't it?
Right. Well, that's wow. Okay. Who would have thought?
Not me.
I
No, most people don't. That's the problem.
Yeah. Right.
So look, cards on the table. Cards on the table. We've come into possession with some very interesting technology, which led us on a little bit of a journey to insert planet that's now destroyed name.
Yeah.
Califaction,
I think it was.
Yeah, I think so. And we just got off that planet before the scientists give name, who went insane, blew it up, and sent it into the black hole.
Right. That seems extreme.
Yeah. And then we attended a symposium on ancient technology.
Right. On the Glisten Pearl.
Yes. You know about it.
Your jokes were very nice.
Right.
You know some, but yeah.
And then we got led to you.
Right. Okay. By who?
Give name.
Do we want to?
Yeah,
Are you
fuck it.
mentioning Uncle Glenn? Look, I've even made my
Yeah.
name up.
That's
Uncle
the
Glenn,
problem,
just to
right?
make
We
it
probably
easy.
should.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, this feels like the just coming clean option.
Glenn Beckett
Yeah.
is his name.
Yeah.
She looks sort of puzzled. So can I play back to you what I think you're telling me? So you went
Hold on, I'll make it easy for you. The only bits that I have excluded are the Obsidian group and the
Omicron
crazy
division.
super tech aliens.
Oh, the drawing.
The drawing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So she's able to sort of play that back to you. So what do you? So I sort of understand all of that. So I guess the question is, why do you want to talk to me? Like, why me? Why here?
We'd like to chat about Twilight's Peak.
Right.
Now she's paying attention.
Okay. So yes, I have been to Twilight's Peak. Doesn't seem to be much point in pretending that I haven't, because assumedly, however you got here, included that reference point. It's an ancient space. We basically just survived. I wrote a book about it. Some people believe the book, some people don't.
Can you remember much about how you survived? Because that's the problem we've been encountering.
Can I get an autograph?
So are you... Kush is like, I've got the whole book here. Is that right? Is Kush now pulling out the manuscript?
Like,
oh. I'd like a signed copy if she's got one.
No, she only hand wrote it. She didn't put it down on system.
Handwriting?
Yeah, it's actually literally handwritten.
Who does that?
Someone who doesn't want this shit put on any system anywhere. So why would I tell you how to survive? Like, why are you planning to go there?
That depends.
Yes.
And why? It's a death trap.
Well, why'd you go in the first place? We're on the same.
I didn't have a choice. We were fleeing a Corsair. We were literally shot out of the sky.
Obviously, you didn't
crashed on Twilight's Peak, and we barely got out alive. The Corsair, I will point out, did not get out alive. Cut in half, actually.
You seem to have done okay out of it, though. When we look at, some of the armor and other things you have going on around here.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I have, I've been experimenting on this stuff now for 20 odd years. So yes, I don't really understand the technology, but I've worked out well enough how to, plug it into other bits and pieces. Are you referring to the suit or the this? And she holds up and she sort of shows her arm with the biomechanical construct wrapped around her arm.
At this point, I'll ask, do you mind if I scan that?
Yes.
Oh, that's a shame. Just crush my dreams there. That's fine. Whatever.
Yes.
My eyes remain.
I trust myself with it. I don't trust anyone else with that information.
Yeah. My eyes remain locked on it for the remainder of the conversation, trying to work out how it works.
How it works. You really can't work it out. It's basically got a little red glowing sort of what looks like maybe a nozzle or a beam projector or something pointed at the front. And then you can't even discern a properly constituted power supply. Like, you can't see a battery. You don't know how it's powered. But it seems to be like this, and it is different tech or different style tech to the tech that's built into her back suit.
When you
So
say
what
that, does it look like different eras or different races or different?
It looks like it looks genuinely like unrelated technology, except you're pretty sure that they're both sitting well above the water level on tech levels. So, but it's like looking at two cultures' generation of tech.
Yeah.
Two unrelated cultures.
No, thank you.
So, why do you want to go to Twilight's Peak other than you can?
Well, we'd like to, if there's any more of this stuff out there, we'd like to stop people blowing up planets.
Okay, that's actually a pretty good reason. That's a fair reason. I hadn't put that one on. So you think there's something you can find at Twilight's Peak that either does or does not blow up planets?
Hope so.
Well, we've just seen one planet go down.
Yeah, we've just seen one guy.
Well, I'm pretty sure that the ancients had the ability to destroy planets. We've found destroyed planets that we're pretty sure were destroyed during the Ancients' War. So that seems reasonable, legit.
Well, it's more to the point that we can either, if it blows up planets, we take it out of other people's hands. If it doesn't blow up planets, then we might be able to use it to stop people from blowing up planets. So either way, it's a win-win in that direction.
Agreed.
A little less genocide makes the Imperium.
Hands on head, and maybe I can find something that I can attach to my mech suit that can blow up planets.
Oh yes, the compatible plugs. Man, your operating systems don't even match. This isn't that stupid movie.
Upload Windows.
Yeah, that's the one.
I was going to say, was that an Independence Day reference?
Yeah, Independence Day reference. That's it. Yeah, that's it. We'll just upload the virus.
So, I guess, all right. So, who do you actually like? Are you doing this just as independents, or are you working for someone?
Look, we saw what could happen, and it scared us enough to do something about it. We've seen the Imperials fucking Obsidian division and how shit disappears, and we don't want them to no, we don't need that shit going that way.
Nope.
So you've encountered I feel like we should just call them the Obsidian division now.
Sorry, man, you put that word in my brain.
I did. It's my fault.
It's
I did misquote them at the beginning. So the Obsidian, and I now want to say Obsidian Order because it's just what you want to say when you say it. So the Omicron division.
Omicron,
right?
that's right.
That's Omicron. Omicron, yes.
Right. So you know who they are.
Yeah, we've heard whispers, and we think that they're the ones that held up the and did the search on the thingo,
the Glisten Pearl.
The Glisten Pearl. They didn't seem like normal Imperial mooks.
No, the Omicron division is many things, but normal Imperial mooks is not something you'd call them. But they are pretty uninformed and unenlightened.
So you agree?
Well, yes. I mean, they're like toddlers playing with plasma weaponry.
That was a good childhood.
Fond memories as adults.
Fond
memories.
I was trying to work out how to bring that up, but yes.
Yeah. I am that child. I am that child. All right. So I'm just fascinated. What do you like? Okay. So you don't like the Omicron division? Tick. We both agree, or we all agree. They're a bunch of clowns, and they don't really know what they're doing. You were sent here by Glenn Beckett, which is mostly terrifying and a little bit reassuring.
No, it
He
means
pointed
he
us
knows
at you.
something.
I think mostly terrifying is probably
To us.
understating it from what we were able to glean from his wet wiring.
He's
was
he's
next level
wired
bullshit.
up.
What do you mean?
Sorry, probably shouldn't have mentioned that. My bad.
Well, when I looked over his gear, did it have, sorry, before I say this, did it seem like it was like hers? That was had a bit of ancient junk wired in there?
Oh, dude, whatever was going on inside him was well beyond anything you've ever seen.
Yeah, and that's the way I went.
It may as well have been magic.
Yeah. And so when he put us towards you, that's part of why we suspected that you'd be able to help us in our investigation.
So, are you telling her that Glenn Beckett is basically chockers with ancient technology?
Well, we don't
I don't
know
think
that.
Yeah, I'm going to say that he's unexpectedly well equipped, but we don't know that it's anything ancient. Just like you, he was reluctant to share.
Right. Okay. I didn't know that. I know Glenn's a player. I didn't realize that he might be more than just a player.
No,
he's wired up.
he's a referee. He's not a player.
No, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's a nice analogy.
he's watching.
Yeah. He just steps in when he wants to.
Hands out cards.
So, all right. So Glenn sent you here. He might be working. He might have something else going on, but he sent you here because of Twilight Peak.
Team, I can't remember.
He just suggested that
mentioned-
we might want to talk to the person who wrote the book and pointed us your way.
Right. Okay. Also vaguely terrifying. You know he's like a major criminal, right? You kind of said
We
this out
suspect.
loud. You know this,
Well, I mean,
right?
why wouldn't you be if you can do whatever you want and no one can stop you? I mean, that's where.
But
it's
he's
at.
like, he runs the biggest criminal concern on Regina. Like,
Well, what else is he going to do with super high ancient tech wired into his freaking body?
And
So
I
you say
broke
that.
at the meeting. Score for
I
good.
mean,
yes, Kush tick. Right, okay, sure. So I have a question for you. What do you think the ancients were? I'm just fascinated. This is just a general question. I don't have the answer. I'm actually asking what you all think the ancients were.
What my opinion is that they were an arrogant, hyper advanced species that decided to fuck with shit and got fucked with.
I have no idea. I can't answer that. The horrible things we've seen, I don't think that's the
I know
ancients, but it's certainly something that contributed to killing them.
I know they weren't human and they weren't Varga, but they seem to have a plan. Both of them.
And I share an
no.
opinion. I share opinion that they're also just a hyper advanced race that were poking around with things that were at their technology level. And one day when we reach that level, we'll need to try and make wiser decisions.
Yeah.
And the silent one in the corner, pointing at Entos, what do you think?
I'm pretty much along for the ride. I'm no archaeologist with these guys here. I'm just looking for as much of this ancient tech as we can find.
For the museum, for the people to see.
And you, Razko, this is
Me? Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I like to get out and sort of explore the galaxy a little bit, with my piloting skills. And I don't want to be hunted down by weird blue alien creatures that only me and my fishy friend here can see. So trying to minimize that risk is high up on my list of want-to-haves.
I see. And I have a follow-on question. Do you think the ancients still exist? She looks at you.
I don't think so. I think they all got wiped out
when she asks this question.
I don't have information or evidence to say that they do.
Doesn't seem
Or they
likely.
don't.
That thing that
They
hunted us
do.
down and everyone forgot, so it can kill things with impunity. That got to the ancients. They're all gone, man.
But if they can do that with the giant blue chicken monster thing, why can't they do
Exactly.
it themselves? How would you know if you met one?
You'd never know. That's exactly right. You'd never know.
Well, I fucking would.
No, you just can't. You can see the blue monster thing like I can. That doesn't mean you can see the ancients.
Yeah, but remember,
The same thing.
if we made the assumption, and I guess it's assumption, that you lot were raised up by the ancients from your monkey status, right?
Basically, barely above monkeys. Yep.
Yeah, that's right. I was not raised up by the ancients. I was raised up by the monkeys. I know that's not saying a lot for me, but it means
You can
were
still
as
see the
bad-
monkeys, though. That's the
What I liked is it started out sounding a bit like a supremacist point of view, but then it's like,
No.
and then I was raised up by the monkeys, and so I'm not affected by it.
No, but the point is, whatever this horrid blue monster thing that only some of us can see, whatever that ability is, there's no reason that the ancients have their own version of that doesn't work on any of us lesser. Right? So
Well,
that
we
they're just
think
wandering
it's
around
genetic,
everywhere and none of us.
dude. So why would I
Correct.
have that genetic coding?
No. What I mean is, you're an exception. I somehow managed to
I'm
fix
exceptional.
my brain, but that doesn't mean that there is a version of that ability that none of us are immune to. Therefore, the ancients
What
would
if they
be
can make
standing right
themselves
next
look like? What if they can
exactly.
make
They
themselves
could
look
be
like
here
monkeys?
right among us, and we would never be able to even remember. Right?
Sure,
They'd be very bored.
I understand you. I
That's what
understand,
I'm
but,
trying to
but
say.
you have to think. You have to understand the laws of probability here, right? So, if it's genetic and not some magic mind power that spans the galaxy, right?
Yes.
Then for this to affect me, the ancients would have had to give it to every single creature, lifted up, raised up, or not, and that is probability impossible.
No, it's the other way around. If you're uplifted, you don't have the thing. It's the other way. We, who are uplifted by them, have the genetic switched on, so we can't see them. You, who are uplifted by the monkeys, do not have that.
I think we're
opposite of what
arguing
you
the
said.
same point. I'm going to stop now because it's hurting.
Okay.
All right, she's watching this argument play out.
Well, we're arguing
Anyways.
because Rasko's not a biological scientist, and anyway, barely knows how to fly spaceships.
So
you remember that mark on
Yes,
Sokka's
Dan.
face? Out of the tunnels.
Too much philosophy.
Anyway, the point is,
all right.
all of us, it's very easy for all of us to be completely immune to the thing.
Okay.
To the ancients, not to the other stuff.
Okay.
Okay. So Razko has completely failed to understand genetic. So there's just so we're all on the same page here.
And we've
Razko
just given up.
has completely failed to understand how
I had
this
a
works,
magnet
which is
for it.
great.
That's where we've gotten to.
I actively have no training or skills in this at all.
Yeah.
Or critical thinking or random or deduction. But that's fine.
Dan's not holding the line. All right. So what if I told you I'm actually pretty sure that they are still around?
Okay.
Wow. That's
What do they look like?
I don't know.
See,
And
Bush
I
was
don't
right.
think that's because they're magical, invisible aliens. She kind of says,
Yep.
having made a decision that magical, invisible aliens are now the proxy for,
That's the canon.
no, I don't believe in the flat earth level of conversation. What if I told you I'm pretty sure they operate at a higher level of existence to us? And more
Oh,
importantly,
yeah,
what if I told you they had, I'm pretty sure, agents who
like that guy, that well pumped up
Yeah.
high tech guy.
Uncle
who
Vlad.
prosecute their agenda?
That
That would make
That-
sense.
that would make sense.
I mean, why trouble yourself with the little things, really?
Yep.
You know,
Okay.
if your technology
Well, shit.
effectively enables godhood, why dick around with the monkeys?
With your
Yep.
evidence, do you think they are benevolent or malevolent?
She looks at you for a second and goes, so remember the destroyed planet falling into the singularity?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was
Okay,
bad. Yeah.
fair.
Okay. That's a
They
good point.
they destroyed solar systems.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's not necessarily bad. It's
Yeah, that's what I'm
uncomfortably
saying.
awkward for
But
everyone in the solar system.
and she looks at you all and she goes, no, you might be right. Is it bad? Maybe they had a reason. But do we
That's
want
my
them?
point.
Do we
Certainly
want them
awkward.
prosecuting that conversation on planets we live on?
No.
Well, there was an
I mean,
ancient
I
Does
don't
it
know.
matter
I
if
barely
they're
understand.
good or bad if they destroy planets to settle their arguments?
I barely don't understand genetic recombination, so this whole solar system
Oh,
destruction
no,
thing
no,
is way
no,
above
no.
my pay grade.
Razko understands orbital mechanics really well. Razko's
Oh, yeah,
an
that's a good point,
expert
actually.
at
Yes.
navigating stellar and interstellar space. No, Razko.
Well, it's true. What we saw happen to that planet isn't possible. That's not how orbital mechanics works. Because you have to pull
Yes,
a lot of
it was
energy out of
literally
that
being-
thing for it to crash.
It was literally being held above a singularity,
Yeah.
suspended above a singularity.
that's not
I'm
a
gonna
simple
talk about the
thing. You can't
alien
do that
module. I'm
very
just
easily.
going to move on from that and let that go. But just saying, magic tech. Magic tech. Magic tech.
Yeah. Well, that's another reason that we want to go to Widow's Peak, Shadow Point. Oh god, my brain.
Twilight Peak.
Twilight, something.
Twilight
There we go.
Peak.
Got there in the end.
So
So what's she leaving? What do they leave these? I've already forgotten it. Widow's Peak, Twilight's Peak.
Twilight Peak.
Twilight Peak.
What would they leave these places lying around for then?
I don't think they
if
did.
they're-
I think they went to war.
They
And I
forgot
think-
about.
I think they had an arsenal of weapons that we can't even imagine.
and they've just forgotten about some of them.
Yes. And what worries me about that is if they're coming back, they might want their bases back.
All your base belong to us.
You know,
Except the one in the singularity. That base.
I tell you
doesn't
what,
belong to
look,
anyone.
let me give you a real example of what we're talking about. So she takes her arm and she looks around the room for a second, mutters, "I've always hated that table," points her arm at the table, and it literally disappears. Like there's
I don't
a
notice
it's
anything from
bathed in a
her.
beam and then it's gone. There's no
Really wash
flash of
dishes
light.
ever again.
There's nothing. It's just gone.
I'm like, could
Well-
you not point that arm at me anytime soon, please?
So if I was to make an assumption here, did you just remove all the energy from the bonds holding that molecular structure together?
Actually, yes. That's a very good guess.
I figured as much. That's fucking terrifying.
And this is
Yeah,
a
if
little
you didn't do
one.
that again.
They had these. As far as I can,
Death Stars.
like I've encountered one of these that's built to take out ships.
Jesus
Fuck.
Christ. I like being inside ships, not a cloud of atoms.
It's good. The good news is, if your ship's shot with it, you're likely to be part of that. So you don't really.
That's what I'm saying. I
You're
prefer
fine.
not to be part of the cloud of atoms.
Yeah. Oh,
A
I
quick
see.
way to
Yeah.
go is what she's saying.
Yeah, you won't know. Like it's
Yeah, but you could point-
instantaneous. I've
yeah.
got that for you.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on this. Look, I fully support the idea that we need to potentially have our own capability of entering the argument, perhaps.
Or at least
I agree.
holding out long enough to run away.
I think we need, and she says we with a very specific, it sounds like I, but maybe the we word is how we're defining I now. I think we need to get to the base first.
Yes, I'm down with you on that. That's why we came.
And
Yeah.
stop the ancients from coming back and taking it over.
So you think they left and came back? They haven't been hanging out here the whole time.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's exactly what I think. I think the war, whatever the war was, and whatever the ancients actually were, and she doesn't claim to know who the ancients were. She's like the rest of you. She's, there's a footprint in the beach. Beyond that, I got little or nothing. I found a stick. Looks like it's got a pointy bit on the end. Could be a person. It's work. Could be an accident of fate.
This is like the Doctor Who bringing Gallifrey back kind of thing. Like
that's right.
Off somewhere else, and
Yep.
now they're coming back.
Yeah.
That's
so
bad.
whatever the war was, my best bet is there were factions. And at the end of the war, the factions went their own way.
And potentially, do you see that this? Well, I mean, I think let's stop talking about it. I think we need to frickin' go.
Yeah.
I suppose we've got some interesting pieces of tech. Is this something that we can, or sorry, let me rephrase that. Perhaps your studies could allow us to use that and increase our likelihood of success in this mission.
What you need to do is go and get the garnet.
Okay.
So the way I got off the base was I built something into the garnet that makes it a friendly.
Oh, a bit of an IFF.
That's handy.
All right. Well, we better GTFO, eh?
So if
What
you
did we
can
do
get
with
to, if you can get to the garnet, if you know where it is, you could use the garnet to get to the base.
All right.
And I can give you and she tells you where the base is.
Do you want to come?
Yes,
Or-
I have every intention of coming.
Do you have anything that you might be willing to share with us lowly monkeys?
What do you mean by share? I've shared a heap.
Well, as
He
in
wants to take
technology.
the garnet in front of your house.
It's Lydia, that's right. So the location of the Twilight's Peak base is at Lydia. This is I have 3 things. I'm wearing 2 of them, and the last one powers my ship.
So no.
Jesus
So
Christ.
no.
All right.
And it's just here. And she She goes into another room and she comes out. There's a sort of slightly bigger than suitcase, but roughly suitcase-like sized object. You have no idea what it is, but it has connectors coming off it. Actually, sorry, that's not fair. You can definitively make a roll, actually. Anyone with a technology background is allowed to make a roll. If you have engineering for spaceships, you can make a roll. It's basically a power cell of some description. Anyone who wants to make that roll can do so.
I can't make
Robotics?
that roll.
Yeah, robotics, yeah. So you have to deal with power cells. I'll pay it.
I've got
I'm going to leave the
repairing.
difficulty
Is
where
that-
it is. Yeah, repairing is engineering on the spaceship, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Confirm
All
it's
right,
not.
I'll do.
Antos doesn't know what
That's
it
bad.
is.
Me,
Antos
I'll do
doesn't
repairing.
recognise
Let's
it.
see.
I'm spending
3.
a point
Holy
of
shit!
intellect
That's the
to help
second
as well.
3 I've rolled in a row.
Okay,
This is
Razko
absurd.
has no idea.
Everyone's
Clank
rolling
has
threes.
no
This is
idea.
not random.
Does it look old?
All right, Orcus. It might be a gun. You do a roll. We're all rolling threes, mate.
All right.
Wait, it didn't take into account me being trained and shit. It just I rolled a 4 and it says beat to difficulty
You've-
1, but it should be 10.
No, the difficulty was, it did take it into account. It calculated your difficulty down from 6 to 4.
Ah, okay.
I rolled a 10.
You also failed.
Does it?
All right, none of you recognize it. It's weird.
Does it look old?
Not particularly.
Okay. I can just give a straight intellect roll. No, hell no.
TM intrusion.
Hell no.
That was all experience.
So
What happens
many
when I stick it on my
options.
tongue?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I just stick my tongue in the connector and see whether it stings or not. Jesus. All right. So you're looking at it though. You're not touching it, or are you touching it? Maybe you are touching it. Maybe that's where this all goes wrong.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
DM intrusion.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Oh,
What has he done?
isn't
He
your
just died.
cipher like embedded tech?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
one
it
of you
is.
has that.
Not anymore.
Yeah, so you touch it and there is a massive magnetic field that is highly concentrated and contained. And you fritz your cipher, like it's gone,
Oh, man.
like just fritzed. You can recover it with
Um,
some engineering skill, but for now you don't have it.
I'm gonna need an orthodontist.
You are, because something is just, you have just literally encountered one of the strongest magnetic fields you've ever experienced. But weirdly, it's not attracting anything. It seems somehow contained or controlled.
Almost like it is potentially containing a, I don't know, maybe a small black hole.
Or something. Nice.
That looks cool. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
Let's
she just
go.
goes, but it's like almost, it's barely bigger than a suitcase. And she goes, this powers my ship.
Yeah.
You guys
I
have
am
got a
no longer
20-ton
surprised.
power plant in your ship.
Yeah. I am no longer surprised.
Or 40-ton power plant in your ship. Good. All right. Cool. At that moment, and unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, it's 10 o'clock, but so we won't do the next scene. We'll do it the next session. At that moment, a whole bunch of alarms go off. A whole bunch of alarms come off, and then in the middle of the room, sort of projected there, not magical tech, this is very much TL 1415 holographic technology, is the image of what looks like an Imperial patrol cruiser.
Same one?
Not dissimilar to the one that you recently saw outside the portholes of the Glisten Pearl.
Oh, no.
And it has, she goes, shit, Right. And before she really so it just literally appears out of, jumps in. It jumps close to the gravity well. So whoever's
That's
piloting
weird.
it, A, knows what they're doing, and B, is taking
It's super
significant
risky.
risks. And you can see almost as soon as it appears, a pair of shuttles are dropping from the ship.
God damn. This is not
And at that point, she goes, right. You guys need to get to your ship. You need to get to the Garnet. I'm going to make it to my ship. I'll meet you at Lydia.
All right.
Okay.
Done. Deal. Let's go. We bolt.
All right.
Yeah.
So she goes, all right, awesome. And then she starts running out the back and tells you guys to kind of, there's a what's it called? An air raft. That's the word I'm looking for. So basically a grav car. She goes, you guys take that, get back to your ship. I'm going to go and take the train. And she runs downstairs.
That sounds good. We get on the thing and go.
All right, so that's where we'll stop it, because you
I
guys
am not surprised.
Because you guys are going to have to get past the, Omicron division thugs who are.
Oh, we'll just pretend we're dumbass Imperials.
Planet dropping.
I can shoot them out of the sky.
You get the impression that might not fly this time. It doesn't feel like they're here to have a chat.
They followed us.
Maybe. They've arrived here. They've arrived here.
They haven't landed, right?
Not the ship. The patrol
No,
vessel can't enter the atmosphere. It's a proper stellar warship. These things are not built for atmospheric re-entry.
These things are not built for close jumping to gravity wells. That's risk. Yeah.
We've just. We only have to deal with like 2 platoons of Marines. That'll be a cinch.
Well, I don't think. I just shoot the ship, and they come down like a sack of shit.
Well, you don't shoot the warship. You're shooting the pod. The landing.
I mean, I love my gun. I don't think it's going to impact an interstellar warship. I mean,
the 800-ton patrol cruiser does suggest it's probably not going to be heavily impacted by your plasma gun.
But those shuttles are.
They're definitely They're
The
definitely a target, and that is what we will discover at the next session when you get to shoot things and run away and stab things, and
This is what I was born for.
You can, I feel like Orcus hasn't had a proper chance to go toe to toe with people with guns and armor.
That's true. He doesn't even have toes. That's the problem.
That's right.
Toes to flaps.
Flip it a toe. Flip it a toe.
Flip it a toe. Ooh, that's kinky.
Flip it a toe movement.
Beautiful.
All right. So next session, we'll kind of wrap up this little arc, because basically you'll have this kind of fight. The Garnet, you know exactly where it is. You'll go, you'll grab it, and then it'll be Twilight's Peak.
Yep.
Nice.
Nice.
And the adventure of Twilight's Peak itself.
Looking forward to it.
All right, cool. Well, that was a bit sort of chatty, but yeah, the next session will be
that's good.
Dice rolling and running away, or running towards.
Well, dice rolling, we've practiced all our threes this session. So.
Yeah, look, you guys are masters of the 3. I mean, absolute masters. Like, I've not
that
seen...
server update you did.
Yeah, no, fair point. Yeah. No, I'm 100% agree that it is the server update I did, and
it's 2d6. They'll fix it 8 times before the next session, I'm sure.
Exactly.
They aggressively update like every day.
Oh no, but this is the thing. We're playing Cypher, so we should be safe now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we are too. Yeah.
So we're not getting 27 updates a fortnight. Seems to be the pattern.
Yes, to your point, and continuous deployment.
Yeah, no, just they live that life, man. The number of releases is, and I never know what they do. It's like, okay, it's version 2.1.7. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. All right, and then So I kind of put it up on the server. Not a problem to solve today. We're still at least, I reckon, 4 sessions, maybe even 5 from the end of this run. Will be the question of, do we do this for the next one, or do we kick off something new? But you guys can think about that. I'm actually pretty agnostic on this one.
cool.
I'm actually quite happy to run Secret of the
I'm keen
Ancients,
to-
and then I don't.
Yeah, I'm keen to see
I'll
what
be
happens.
upfront. I'm not a fan of Wrath of the Ancients, but I can live with that. I'm probably going to remove the slightly weird superpowery bit and stick to the knitting. But yeah, no, I think it's good. And I've bought. I've broken my own rules already. I bought the Cypher enhancement for sci-fi, which is the Stars
sweet.
of Fire. Which has a whole bunch of more tech kit and a bunch of other things. The only other thing I'd say is, and like, don't feel obligated to go and redesign your characters. Like, all that's cool. Probably worth actually. Sorry.
Sorry, you first.
Well, I was going to say, whatever else you do, I would suggest you have a read of. If we're going to play it longer term, go and have a read of the character arc stuff. Like, actually decide what
we need
character
that
arc you want your character to pursue, because then it's a little bit like in Alien when you get handed the card that tells you what you might want to do. But this also supplies the XP to advance your character, so it's a good thing to like go off and look at and decide who you want to be when you grow up. So. And the nice thing about the arcs is some are short, finish quickly, and then you just pick up another one. Some are long with lots of beats, and then you do a whole stack of different things to achieve the outcome. So, yeah, I'd really suggest you have a read. It's in the core rules, which are on the journal. I think you can get to them through the journal. I've put the core rule book up there. So just click on it and go and have a look. And yeah,
I'm not seeing anything in the journal. So.
Oh, maybe it's
in
just...
Forge.
Oh, maybe it's just me. Hold on.
No, didn't you drop a whole bunch of stuff in chat in Discord?
In Discord, I think, yeah.
Oh, yeah, in Discord. But actually...
you dropped it in Discord. I just haven't grabbed it yet.
Just seeing what it says about creating a character flavor type focus. Oh, someone's put a bunch of stuff in here. Anyway, have a look.
There's a lot of stuff in the suitcase, the items.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If you go into the suitcase, into the book, into the little book one.
No, that's journal. The book says journal, and that's empty.
And can you not see anything inside that?
Not a sausage.
No, can't see anything.
Okay, I will fix that right now. Configure ownership.
Yes, we have.
Hey, everyone, have observer ownership.
There we go.
Now,
if you Cypher rulebook.
And then if you open it up, you should get the oh my god, the rule books in there. Okay, let's
this rulebook index and the license.